Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I usually wait for as much information about an issue to be issued, to be revealed, to be provided. And then, based on the information that I think is enough for you to draw a conclusion, then you come out and say, okay, this is my assessment on this issue. It's always going to be more information coming, but that's a point beyond which the basic direction of your opinion, assessment, analysis will not be changed. Like, is this a good thing or this is a bad thing? That's not going to change. Because you can't wait, I'm going to wait all my life because, always about this event, something else will come and will be revealed. So in this case, I will discuss about that issue with the Associated Press, who is banned from, or blocked and banned from attending briefings at the White House. Or, if Donald Trump has a meeting and they're not invited, they're blocked, they're prevented from entering. And you have a judge, obviously, who said, oh my God, no, you have to allow them to come in. So a judge told the Trump administration that the Associated Press should be allowed at the White House, at the press conferences and so on, in the Oval Office. And I read, I don't know how many articles, this happened for some time already. And the reason why this occurs is because the Associated Press does not want to refer to the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America, as Donald Trump issued the executive order. They just don't want to do that. Why? Because the Associated Press are not Americans, I guess. Nevertheless, why would you go towards that? Do you think it's right? You say, well, it's the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, but this is a ordinance, how do you call it, order that clearly said, we're going to change this. And they refuse. No, we're not going to refer to the Gulf of... Okay, that's beyond this. This is how it started. And then Trump said, I'm not going to take your questions and you're not going to be here anymore. And the problem is, oy vey, why can't we come in? Well, who says that you should come in? That's my first question. Who says you should come in? And if you say, that's the press. Do you know how big the press is? Do you know how big? Why should you be over there and not, let's say, Lansing State Journal? Or I don't know, Detroit Free Press. Why aren't there having correspondents in the White House? I tell you why. Because it's limited space and you're not special. Now, if you talk about, Associated Press, then why don't you have Joe Rogan? I mean, Joe Rogan is the biggest podcaster. Why not? Why don't you have that guy? Or many others. Well, let me show you this article here. Coming from The Hill. Associated Press says journalists, plural, blocked from Oval Office after judge's order. Remember, these guys are rooting for the Associated Press not because Associated Press is the free media and they love free media. They all lie, they all give the interpretation, they have a narrative, they have their own agenda. The bullshit with a free press, free media, how this is going. Can I go over there? Yeah, you have to apply, and then they will allow a certain kind of number of press, invitees to show up at the press conference. Attachés, or how do you want to call them? They call them differently. It doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? I'm like Biden, you know what I mean, right? Okay, so in this case, we have the Associated Press on Monday said its journalists were barred from covering an Oval Office event featuring President Donald Trump and El Salvador's President Bukele in defiance of a court injunction. So the court says they should allow them? Our journalists were blocked from the Oval Office today, the spokesperson for the wire service said. We expect the White House to restore Associated Press participation in the pool as of today, as provided in an injunction order. A federal judge last week ordered the Trump administration to restore the Associated Press access to the key White House space after it banned Associated Press reporters over the outlet's refusal to use Gulf of America in its widely cited style book. So, let me tell you this. I think that everyone in the press should be allowed to go at the White House. But there's limitations of room, space, time. So why is the Associated Press thinks that it has a special privilege? And if they're not located in the first row, we have a problem. I saw CNN over there with that baboon, Caitlin, whatever her name is, being in the first place asking idiotic questions. So these guys think that they are special. Why? Because they used to be special. They lost that. Why? They lost that by their own reporting, their own skewed interpretation of reality, their own agenda that did not coincide with the people's agenda, which is truth. They didn't do that. So what's going on? They left the cat out of the bag, which is the internet, with things that I'm doing and others. We gave you an alternative to what these guys, we bring it so they go this way and we drag them here a little bit to the center, which should be the truth. This is what I'm, oh, Emil, you're not neutral. No, I'm not neutral. I'm not neutral whatsoever. I'm exposing the garbage of those guys. My lack of neutrality is truth. Oh, well, I don't know all the truth. I don't know every time what's going on, but at least I give you what when these guys are baboons. Right now, we're supposed to cry for a Associated Press that gave us so many baboonish articles, skewed and with agenda, because they have to be over there. No, you don't have to be. You do not have to be. If you do have to be over there, I want, I know, the Miami Herald to be over there. I want, as I said, Lansing State Journal to be over there. I want the Detroit Free Press to be over there. How many other outlets could be there and they're not? Why are you? You tell me about the how many you are or the credibility. I don't want to have criminals. No, I want to have the good people. Now, who's the good people, who the criminals are? This is based on proportion. My point is this. You're not entitled to be over there. If you are, everyone else is. And I guarantee you, remember when the press secretary, she came and said, we're going to open the White House covering for other media. These guys, the big guys who were making the news in the 40s, 50s, 30s, 90s, 80s, the internet was not, in the 90s the internet was. They were the makers of the society. They would destroy a person or will build a person. They would portray however they want your reality. They were manipulating. Now they lost it and they're very angry. But it's okay, they got their operatives. You know how? People like Cuomo, people like Don Lemon, people like O'Reilly, people like Kelly, who are fired. They have their own podcast. They say the same shit they said when they work for CNN or Fox or whatever. They say the same shit. They just invade our space. And guess what? The algorithms will promote these guys. It's a takeover. It's an infiltration. That's what it is. Oh, Cuomo all of a sudden is fantastic. Says the same garbage. But, he says the same garbage and a little bit something that will drag you in. A little bit of what I'm saying all the time. With his garbage he used to say at CNN all the time. He's the same guy. And he's promoted. He's got a lot of money. So it's just an infiltration. So in this case, Associated Press thinks it's special. You lost that. You know by what? By your actions. Should be banned? Very easily the White House would say, we have here 20 seats. We're going to rotate. I guarantee you that the big guys will disagree with that. Why? We want special treatment. Well, you can't have that. Media should not have special treatment. Media should be treated all equally. No? Or we don't like equity, inclusion, and baboonish whatever anymore. We don't like that. DEI, diversity. We don't like diversity, inclusion, and equity anymore. My friends, this is a racket. They want to be the manipulators of the news, of the truth, if you want. They want to be the gatekeepers of the truth. That's what it is. Trump very easily can make a policy. We have 20 spots. We're going to rotate. How many people want to come in? 3,000? Every day we're going to randomly select, and they can do it randomly. What are the odds that Associated Press will be every day in the briefing room? Well, you make a calculation. So that's my point with this Associated Press garbage. I'm not for Trump. Oh my God, he banned them. He bans the enemy of the people. Oh my God, he bans them. He doesn't. But how about we listen to others as well? You're not more important. You got more money. You might more connections, but you're definitely not working for the people in general. For certain people, indeed. Agenda. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.